So guys, here we are again. Thanks for joining me. Your support is much appreciated. So back in the UK, back home in Blighty, grey, miserable, wet. It's and cold. So, but at least I can run. The weather's is is good for that at least, sort of thing. So it's not Dubai, no, but that was just too hot. But it's good. I've been out for a run this morning, which brings me to this point now. So this morning's run was a 24k run at race pace for the upcoming half, which didn't quite go to plan. I seem to have a niggle around my shin, so it's on the inside of the shin, below the calf muscles. So there's no meat, there's no nothing on the inside of your shin bone sort of thing. It's just a bone, but there are things there, but it's just there's no tenderness, no swelling, no nothing on the actual shin itself. But as you run, it's almost like it's just like a dead leg when you land on the foot, on the right foot. It's just dead. There's no spring, nothing like there is on the left leg sort of thing. So almost like you're limping through using a wooden leg. So that started again this morning. I noticed it, and so as I was running, I was trying to work out things that it could be, what it was. There's no other pain anywhere else. There's nothing, and it's not really a pain. It's more like a strain. You can feel something that's going on in there. It's more of a niggle. It's debilitating, if you like. It's stopping. It feels like it's affecting the run, but it's not painful. So as I was running, I've got a lot of things going over in my head, wondering what's going to be, and thinking, well, this afternoon I'm seeing a sports therapist anyway, so instead of doing 24, I'll just do the one lap. I'll call it a day at 12, but at least I'll get some miles in my legs, and hopefully I'll be aware of what I'm doing during the run, so I won't be pushing for the 4:20 pace that I was looking for. I'll just get a run done, sort of thing. So that was it. And so where I live is quite a high point of town, if you like. It's called High Woods, and the first part of the run is a slight incline, but not a great. It's just a gradual slope you're going up, and then you're on a flat for a couple of miles, and then you start to go downhill into the town, and then a little bit of flat, and you've got to come all the way back up to the house, sort of thing. So as I was running the initial part, I didn't feel too bad. Going out of the house, I was on the flat, I could feel it. Then it seemed to disappear, and I thought, oh, maybe it's just warmed up and that's it. But that was just going up a slight incline, and I didn't think too much of that at the time, but that was a point. Along the flat, not too bad, but I could start to feel it niggle again, and then going down the hill, I could feel the niggle again, sort of thing. So down into the town, excuse me, feel a niggle, and then carry on with that along the flat road until the road started to kick up. And it's not a big, massive kick up hill sort of thing, but it's certainly an incline at the beginning. And as soon as I just noticed that as soon as I got to the incline, everything was spot on, and I was just running on a reasonable pace, the conversational pace, 5:10s. 5:05, well, 5:10s I was holding at the time, so it was just going up the hill, no problem. And then it kind of dawned on me, just thinking, is this because going up the hill, you're raising your knees that little bit more, so you're pushing out, you're lifting your knees, and I was starting to run like I was enjoying it, sort of thing. So, and pretty much all of the way home, because it's a gradual incline all of the way, then it stayed with me. It stayed on a good run, sort of thing. A couple of points where the road flattened off, and I thought, and as it flattened, I'm not sure if I could feel anything, or if I just decided that I would increase my pace at that point, because that gives a similar action, if you like. So if you're trying to increase your pace, you're gonna like sprint or whatever, then you're gonna raise your knees just that little bit to raise your game, to raise your pace. And so the couple of flats, then I just picked up the pace a little, but that had the same effect of lifting the knees, and the whole run all the way back was good. I still came in at the halfway mark and just thought I'll just call it a day now. I'm quite happy with the 12k that I got. and I'm quite happy that I've kind of noticed something. At least I can have a conversation with the physio when I go see them this afternoon and just say, look, this is what happened there, and then this is how it changed. So maybe it is because of the pace. So leaving the house, you're a little bit slower than normal sort of thing. And I don't like running slow. I've got to say that it's just, it feels really awkward. You're more plodding than you're flowing sort of thing. So I like to keep the pace up. And it may well be just that I'm just starting to run at the wrong pace for me. So I just need to pick it up a little bit and just run it over my leg as opposed to just thudding it down sort of thing. So something for me to bear in mind anyway. So that was it. So instead of what should have been 4K conversational pace, 6K at 420, 4K conversational, 6K at 420 pace, and then 4K conversational, which would have brought me back to the house in 24K. I just did half of it. I didn't go for the 420, although I did get close to it while I was pushing on, just trying to get through the 12K and get home sort of thing. But I wasn't hitting the targets exactly sort of thing. So that's it. So as I say, there's no swelling of the shin. There's no tenderness in the shin. So unlike you would expect with stress fractures or anything like that, it's just this. It just feels like it's a strain. So there's something that's connecting, obviously, down my shin, connecting with the foot. That's just not comfortable. So hopefully I can get to the bottom of that shortly. Excuse me. Tomorrow's a rest day, and I'll be taking it as a rest day. But then I'm travelling back to work, so I'll be back to the offshore for 3 weeks. So it's travel to work and then 21 days at the treadmill. It is what it is. I'm quite happy with the treadmill sort of thing. I call it a treadmill, but it's good for me. I enjoy it, so I'll get on with that. The following day, it'll be broken miles, so that'll be 2.5 or 2.4K at the conversational, 5:10 or wherever it is, wherever you've worked it out, if you're doing it, which suits you for that pace. A 90-second walk, and then a 1.2K at 4 minute for me. A 2-minute walk after the 1.2. Then a 400 meters at 3:45 pace, and then a 60-second walk, and then you can repeat that 4 times. So the focus is on the 1.2 part of, or the 3/4 of a mile, whatever you want to look at it. So the focus is on that and that'll have a bit more sting in it really, even though it's slower than the 400 meters, because you'll have had a shorter recovery before you go into the 1.2. But again, they're both good, but the 1.2 is the focal point part of it. Excuse me. And once you've done that 4 times, it's a 2.2K easy run, and just cool down. So that's it. That's where we are with that. It's all that'll go okay. So, and then also I'll put that on at the bottom of here, or on the end page, and then you'll be able to sit there and read it from there. So once that's done, I'll just be getting back into, for me, treadmill miles, and we'll see how it goes from there. So moving forward, just thinking, so for those of you who stay regularly on these, watching these, just before the holiday, then I did a clip on the shoes, because it's annoying me. So the shoes, try to explain how one shoe doesn't work for somebody else, and how even changing, so it's the same brand, same shoe, but just a revised model, they often change the offset, the last, which makes them narrower or wider. There's little things that they change that the manufacturer won't tell you about, but they'll just say, like, this is the new V2 version of the V1 that you've just been using, it'd be great. And it's not, it doesn't work for various reasons sort of thing. So for me, just go to the shop. It's okay if you're still on V1s and you've been on V1s for 3 years and they keep making V1s, keep running, keep buying from wherever you can. That makes that fits your budget. But if they come up with a V2, just step back and be aware that V2 will have differences to it because they do it for a reason, and it's not just a color change. So just beware on that. And then since doing both those videos, it's just maybe because I'm more sensitive to it at the minute, I just see so much more going on the running pages that I'm a member of. People saying, oh, I need shoes, what are these, what are those, you know, and everybody just bombards them with, oh, I wear Brooks this, and they're great, but they might be great for them, but they're not great for the next person. It's going to be expensive. What I have noticed is with some of the reviewing pages, they'll take a pair of shoes, running them, and then they cut them and dissect them, and they show you how they're made, etc., sort of thing. And I thought that might be a good thing for me to do, using a good use of some of the shoes that I've got knocking about the house still because I didn't get rid of them. And then I'll cut them down, open them up, measure them, and show you how to compare your shoe, so maybe people will understand better what they're looking for, or what the effects, the impact of a heel offset, higher heel offset or lower heel offset, the impact that it'll have on their feet. A thin tongue, a thick tongue, more padding in the shoe, it's the actual top part of the shoe itself, how it affects the volume inside the shoe, which affects your toes, the way your toes splay, the volume, the height that you've got for your toes to rise. Everybody has little different quirks in their run, and all of these little things add up and make it perfect shoe for you or an awful shoe for you. So I'll probably look at that when I come home. I'll work something out when I'm away at work, and then I'll chop some shoes up, and maybe we can make some sense out of that, and maybe or hopefully it'll save some people money, because it's a nightmare. These shoes, you're looking at, I don't know, 160 to 300. I looked at a pair of Adidas the other day at 450 quid, which is fine if they're perfect for you, and you run it on your 4 foot, great. But if you're a heel striker, you're going to destroy them in about 10 yards sort of thing. So they're not made for that, but they don't tell you that. They're just going to say this is a super shoe and it's going to make you a superstar, and it's not. It's just going to destroy your bank balance. So little things like that, but we'll go into that later on, I say, when I come back. So anyway, thanks very much for joining me. Appreciate that. If you'd like to hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already, I'd appreciate that. And I'll catch up once I get back to work. I'll get tomorrow's run in or Friday's run in, and then we'll take it from there and start building the content again. Right. Thanks very much, guys.